интересно.
В 26 домах уголовного дела собраны книги очевидцев. Проливают свет на страшные преступления середины.
I am a creature of the night.
Как себя торговля? О, я в эфире, есть. Ура, я наконец-то в эфире. Есть, ребят, все. Я в эфире, я сейчас вырублю микрофон, потому что я стримлю вечером и не могу с микрофоном.
What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you know? Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome to the ESL Mobile Open weekly recap. It's already the second round of ladder matches. I can't actually believe it. We're going to be bringing you the highs and the lows from the Europe, Middle East and North Africa region. And today we're going to be covering PUBG, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars and Clash of Clans. My name is Banks and I'm your host, and joining me on the desk, it is of course D-Man. How has your week off been, D-Man?
It's been very good. I mean, was it really a week off? Was it a week off since the Brawls? I'm not sure. I think when that was, the Brawls playing. So maybe it has been a week. I don't know. But it's been fantastic. We've had good weather. I've been enjoying myself. Let's get back into it.
Exactly. Who needs time off? We just don't. We just dive straight in. A lot's happened since we last hopped onto this show. So we've had play-ins in the challenge season. We've had the split one finals in Clash Royale as well. And we're going to be prepping our speedometers for the Asphalt 9 finals. This weekend, by the way, it's going to be this weekend. So, it sounds like a lot, but don't worry. Me and D-Man are here to guide you through. So, if you are new to the ESL Mobile Open, especially the recaps, first of all, welcome. But second of all, here's a video to explain to you the format.
Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles, taking place in 3 regions and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play, free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go.
D-Man, when it comes to Battle Royale games, all right, I want to kind of know how you play this. Are you fairly aggressive, or do you take more of a clinical approach?
Probably aggressive, I would say. I like to think I'm clinical, but generally when the red mist descends, you're just like, let's go. Run around the corner, charging someone, they're all set up and camping you.
I totally agree. I mean, I've gone to the habit of carrying the bare minimum when it comes to ammunition. All I try to do is load up with grenades and let it rain on them.
I will pick up every bit of loot I see until and then sit there trying to inventory management, trying to figure out where I can fit everything.
Well, if you haven't already guessed it yet, we're going to kick off today's recap show with PUBG Mobile, okay? Since we served some last chicken dinners from the Mobile Open, we've got a new leaderboard. So let's pop that up on your screen so that you can have a quick look at that and a chance right now, the reason why we're starting up this leaderboard once again, we're going into the second split, but this is also a chance to get out ahead early and turn some heads. So, D-Man, do we have any crazy stats as of yet?
Yeah, so just to recap, obviously the top 8 from the previous split have progressed, so they're going to be in the final, so we'll see them later on in the year. It does mean, obviously, we're coming through to these guys. Now, there's been 15 games played by now already. So what we got? We got guys that have won 5 chicken dinners already. So a third of those games, they've already picked up some chicken dinners. And I do notice there is a couple of pro teams lurking in the bottom there that have decided to have a couple of games as well in Alliance and Godsend. So very interested to see those guys starting to have a little look.
It is. Tip Top Fate, who are currently in second position, are the ones with the most chicken dinners, which is 5. Alliance, who you saw, have the most amount of kills. It's just they're lacking in that consistency of coming in the top 5 in the rounds they've played so far. But they have 111 kills out of their 15 matches, which is absolutely unbelievable.
A team called 4 Angry Birds. That's a bit of an homage to 4 Angry Men, the Chinese champions, effectively, of the Global Championship. Certainly the qualifiers, they didn't win the overall thing. That was run by another Chinese team. So it's great to see some of the names getting very creative.
D-Man, you're like an encyclopedia of knowledge. I love it. So if you missed our last recap show a few weeks back, something that we touched on a fair amount is obviously consistency. Getting into that top position is one thing, but you've got to come in aggressively, like we've already spoken about, with high kill games as well. So as you'll see, each match is unique. So we're just going to dive straight in. And I believe our first map we're jumping into is Miramar. And we're in our second place team right now, which is Tip Top Fate. D-Man, take us in, mate.
Yeah, important to note, obviously, while we're talking about 9 kills already here. 7 alive. Well, I was about to say 3 of them are from Fate, but that's one down. There's a second one down, so they've just lost another, leaving this man all on his own right now. 4 kills to the good, and leaves him in an interesting 1v1v1.
Exactly. 3 up. Trying to get eyes on, that's all it is. Obviously, you can take pot shots through the smoke down to the bottom, but he doesn't want to give away his position. So just looting up as much as he can and snagging those nades, D-Man.
Absolutely. You can see in terms of meds and everything, he's completely stacked out. So just smoking his cover there and then trying to toss a couple of nades over. He knows that they're over the ridge line. Obviously, he's just lost 2 teammates to these guys. So it's just going to be a case of being patient. And for him, I would say from his point of view, yes, he's tossing the nades out and he wants to see if he can get lucky with some of these. But if anything, he wants them to fight each other, which is also what he's trying to egg on here.
He's trying to make them get aggro with each other. Error is looking to be in the least advantageous position, let's call it, being down low, and so they can both kind of peek over and potentially see where he is. But everyone's playing fairly passively here. Obviously, Tip Top Fate knowing that if they manage to close this one out, this is going to be a high kill chicken dinner, which is really going to nudge them up the leaderboard. As we've already seen, they're currently in second position. I'm not sure which match this was, but, you know, they're obviously a very competent team, so he's probably got comms in his ear as well, just saying, play it slow, don't worry about it, see if you can get a peek out, which looks like he's going to see him in the very shortest of times. Prees is almost giving away his position. He's giving it away. Here we go. Easy shots. Thanks very much. That's a drop. One more kill to close this one out, D-Man.
Yeah, when you're silhouette like that, you're just giving a very easy chance there. Now, of course, with the smoke over the side there for Noxera, so he knows exactly where he is. Tosses the nade to the right, just try and fake his approach and cover his footsteps as much as he can. That molly's gone well wide. That one's gone into the bleachers somewhere. There's another one that's going to hit well, so it's going to force him up the hill. That's what he's trying to do, flush him up the hill there, gets him the little third-person view. Now he goes in with the should be able to finish the job, and he will absolutely do that. Tip Top Fate taking themselves a very nice victory there, collecting a lot of kills on the way.
A lot of kills on the way. That is a 12-kill win to nudge them up the board just more. And I mean, this is the thing. We tend to find there's always teams that sit in the top 5 and they got no kills. So they're just snakes in the grass the whole time, D-Man. Why is that?
Yeah, you hate the dirty snakes there. So when you see a team like that that's got like 0 kills, basically they've had the circle look, you know, that they've been in sort of whatever compound. and the circles kept coming to them. So they've not had a chance to fight because it's all been happening around them. So it's not really their fault.
Well, over to Sandhawk with Team Alliance now. We're going to jump in. Alliance being one of those teams that you mentioned that are one of the pro teams, I remember, D-Man?
Yes, absolutely. This is they're actually CIS champions in the early 2021. So they have a very successful team right now. That is beating out Navi, obviously the big boys with Old Boy, etc. So a very strong team here, no doubt about it. But it is just one man on his own. And as you can see, they've got 9 kills of the team. This man himself, Discrim, has 6 alone. So up against it, though, as you can see, it's a full team just ahead of him. That's EVC that is sat there. So all the team number 5. There is another team to his right, it looks like. You can see they're all purple blobs, so it's a bit confusing. But on the minimap, you can see there's another one that needs to move. Now, he himself is pretty much on the edge of the circle. That is a beautiful nade cooked up. Tosses it in there. Is he going to be able to get the follow-in? That's the question. Is he going to try and push for this one? See someone just standing on the side. I'd take that shot all day, every day. So that's 2 knocks. So he's thinking, you know what, I'm going to push. This is the pro gamer mentality, effectively. Sweeping through, trying to come around. Molly's go down. Will get himself another make. He's caught in the back. The backstab from the other team. So he'd actually taken 3 members of that team down now. So if I was this guy, I would be running. Unfortunately, the Molly's going to stop him coming in.
What an unfortunate timing for Alliance. Absolutely incredible plays, managing to push through and getting 3 knocks and just playing hyper aggressively, which is what we love to see on this recap show, because we're only here to show you the best of the highlights. Come on, that's what we're here to do. But yeah, we've got literally 2 players duking it out, both with little to no health. It's literally a one-shot match, and they're both running away from each other and escaping. It's time to med up. You got to med up quickly or catch him while he's doing a res.
He just lost his chance. He lost his chance. So the thing is, obviously, when they go for the med, they can hear each other going for the med. So they hear that's going on. But now he's left it too long. He was rushing against the full team. Yes, he got one down. He flushed it out. But you can see they're reviving. He's just sitting there. He's letting them revive. So now he's making it. Instead of a 1v1, and yes, they were both low hit points, and that's why he was panicking. But now he's made it a 3v1. It's going to be nigh impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the mentality behind that. Maybe just a little bit of panic and maybe just focusing in on making sure that he meds himself up and not really thinking about it. But once gone down to the blue, one of them is looking like he's caught in the molly as well. He's gone down as well. So it's actually luck seems to be going on his side, applying a bandage to make sure that he gets a little bit of health so he can maybe push out and get aggressive.
So it's basically, that is the center point. So he had to leave the bunker. I mean, it went down to another 1v1. So he kind of played it out, basically waiting for that 9th circle to shuffle in there. But unfortunately for him, he had to push through the molly, as you saw there. So well played the other team to just say, you know what, he's got to come out this door. Let's just molly the entrance, and he can't come out. Probably didn't expect his teammate to get mollied by in the process.
I mean, that winning team as well, only coming out with about 6 kills. I mean, and a very advantageous ending for them, being in that building and just being able to kind of hunker down. I know it went a little bit pear-shaped for them at one point, but they managed to collect their thoughts, let's call it, and get back into it. But hey, we're going to jump into the 3rd and final clip from our PUBG Mobile section of the ESL Mobile Open. We're jumping into Erangel, coming in full circle with the map choices, with Respect Esports from Spain. Thank you very much for making that name difficult for us to pronounce. Respect from Spain, D-Man.
9 kills, though, already. Only 6 alive out there, so he's got 2 of his teammates, so that means there's 4 others to kill. So chance here, you can see there's one team down low. They've got the high ground, so that's always the bonus. But look at the circle in the top right-hand corner. They are way, way outside of it. So they've got to get down this hillside. Oh, dear, and it's a bit of a cliff drop, isn't it? We're over... Yeah, I think we're over towards Camp Alpha, if I'm not mistaken. I can't quite tell by the exact position. It's definitely one of the camps. It may be either Alpha, I'm pretty sure, because that's usually where the drops are, and that is a pretty severe drop. That's his teammate getting knocked there. Don't think he's going to be able to get the revive by the tree. That is a beautiful switch, though, from Pappy, just catching the man on the right-hand side. Very well played there. Can he manage to finish him off, though? You can see there's one flanking around the back of him. He sees him in the blue. Will be able to get the shots down. Can't quite get it. Had to go for the angle. Didn't work out for him. And now it looks like it's down to a 2v1. Team 15, which is BGL versus KVD.
Yeah, we got BG Lucci right here, just pushing on through 10 team kills altogether. So they're looking to put up some big numbers on the board, but it is unfortunately a 2v1. What a knock. Some of these shots that we're seeing are incredible, but he doesn't quite manage to connect on that second enemy. So is it a push? It's got to be aggressive, because if he's trying to get the res, he's going to be in the same situation we saw in the last map as well. So here we go. He manages to get the push off, and there you have it. Once you get the first knock, get aggressive, get up in their face, because that right there just made them come out with a 12-kill win. And anything above a 10-kill win is basically a 10-kill chicken dinner is going to put you in the right space. It's going to put you in the right kind of mode, and is also going to give you some momentum going into your next few games, D-Man.
Absolutely. Great points. No doubt about it for those guys. So obviously, for PUBG just kicking back off again effectively, PUBG Mobile, it's great to see some of these teams sort of delivering. You know, you want that big win to start off, get at the top of the table, give your team a bit of motivation, something that you can all chase.
We'd like to see some of these teams as well get a little bit more creative with their plays, because, you know, when it comes down to it, the skill, the game's in-game skill and your aim is ultimately one thing. But then when you have this level or this capability of the players, you need to start getting creative, start outwitting and outsmarting your opponents. So if you want to drop into Erangel and show us how it's done, don't forget that you can sign up still. There is still time. ! Sign up in the chat. Follow all of the instructions, and you could be on the way to competing against some of these incredible PUBG Mobile teams. Now, I think we all need a break. I need to de-sweat a little bit. We're going to see you back here sharpish, because it's Clash Royale up next.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Welcome back. Clash Royale. If you remember from a few weeks back, it's had a change in structure in the ESL Mobile Open, okay? So instead of having a ladder-style bracket, instead now we have a single elimination bracket each week, and then we name the winner, who will then go on to compete in the finals bracket. So we're going to show you a few matches from the finals tournament from the first split, and then we're also going to show you the single elimination bracket that happened this week. So 2 different brackets and 2 matches from each. That's just to give you a quick brief, unless it gets a little bit confusing for you. It sounds a bit complicated, D-Man, but it's not, is it?
Not really. I mean, it's a straight knockout competition now, which I think is always better than a ladder. Myself, ladders are all well and good for trying things out and sort of building up and seeing just how good you kind of are. But knockout competition, that's kind of where it's at. Yes, you might get a little lucky sometimes with the bracket being in your favor, but you can only beat what's in front of you that way.
Damn right. Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at the Split 1 finals bracket. Okay, so this is from Split number 1. We've already been
enough to see this game. It was a pretty damn good game. We was actually surprised of the turnout, the result of it. Or obviously, we just saw the bracket, so it's not like I'm giving away spoilers here. But Rosanovel obviously wins. But honestly, what a fantastic comeback! He starts off very.
It's just so vitally important. I'm definitely a spam attacker when it comes to these games, so I just chuck everything in and hope for the best. But you'll see timing and specificity of where you place each card as well. It makes huge amount of difference.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest part, obviously, Clash Royale is obviously managing your elixirs. You can't, as you say, you like to do the spam attacks, but it just simply doesn't work because, if you spam and someone's just going to catch you completely off guard, either one left side or right side, whichever channel you decide to go with. Obviously, at the moment, you can see the right channel is where Rosanovel has been focusing on this right tower, which actually getting some really good value out of that bandit there. I didn't notice that last time out, but look at the build-up. While he was going for that attack, spending all his elixir, it's putting him really in trouble against Power Strike.
Yeah, dropping down a clone spell as well and using the golem for the tanking. The golem is just so vital as a tanking troop as well, and it's got all of that. Thank you very much. I will take that entire tower in one fell swoop. So Rosanovel kind of got caught off guard by attacking that right side tower and not having enough defense to go up against the golem. So what's he going to do? He's going to rethink and restructure. How am I going to defend against that if he does it again? So Power Strike is probably thinking, well, if I just repeat that, then it's absolutely in the bag. Thanks very much. But one thing that we haven't seen a huge amount of throughout the Spring Open and throughout the Fall Open so far as well is this Goblin Drill, which it seems everyone is using right now. I'm not 100% sure if there's been a nerf or a patch in this game as of late, but it just seems like the Goblin Drill is definitely something to be using right now. But hey, look, more prepared against this golem attack now, as he's already split it in half, and then we should be okay to clean it up before taking too much damage.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's been favoured. It used to be the miner, right? So you normally go with the miner that we're doing there, but it seems the Goblin Drill's kind of become the new fave. Not too sure exactly why, but fantastic attack. But that was the counter right there. A real nice build-up for him. So obviously it takes us even with just 13 seconds to go. So decent amount of damage done on the main castle there. So now it's a case of, can he stop? Now, obviously we saw last time he got caught out by the big golem attack. Now we know something like that will come again. And that's what we're building towards now. And that's why you can see Rosanovel stacking this right side against that golem.
Yeah, it's not too difficult regarding that side of things because he's caught him early as well. Power Strike has used 9 elixir points to actually create the golem in the first place. So he doesn't have enough to create another attack down the other side that could eventually get to the king turret. So actually he's kind of stuck using the golem. So Rosanovel is now catching him very early on, managing to dissipate the golem and then actually pushing forward. So now you'll see he'll get on the aggressive. And all we're seeing right now from Power Strike is the zappies going down the left-hand side, which I think Rosanovel is pretty comfortable going up against. So now here come the hogs,
he's got him.
just absolutely decimating that king tower, and all it's going to take is just a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, he just sped it up. There was so much coming in there. There's nothing he could do to defend it in the end there. So well played. A real tough semi-final, no doubt about it, for him there. So obviously he was up against it, went down 1 crown already. So to come back and triple crown it was very impressive.
You can see the Goblin Drill as well going onto that left side tower. Absolutely destroyed it so quickly. So the Goblin Drill is definitely something you need to take out extremely quickly. Otherwise, it's just one of those things that will absolutely destroy your tower. So moving on, you had Rosanovel who took that win and moved on to the grand final. Who did he go up against? We had our very own Shadow from the Spring Open making an appearance once again in the Fall Open. Shadow versus Rosanovel in the grand final of the Split 1 finals, D-Man.
Yeah, and we saw Shadow a lot coming up to this. Obviously, he'd done certainly very well. I was just about to say it's a similar deck, but it looks like Rosanovel has changed his deck around a little bit here. We can see the Inferno Dragon's in there as well. He's got himself the P.E.K.K.A. as well if he wants to try and come out without. There's the Zap. He's as well that we've seen so much of. Dark Knight looks like maybe for both of them. We'll see. Obviously, that's the Shadow throwing the Knight down. We know he likes to use that. We've seen that in former games.
Keep your eye closely on the... I was about to call it Zappy. It's Sparky. Sorry, Sparky, right in the middle of the bottom of your screen there. Dishes out so much damage. Very underrated card at the moment, so you'll see that in use from Novel Possum, just so that you guys know. And, yeah, playing fairly passively so far. They're just getting the feel out for each other's decks, just to double check and kind of see, okay, how much am I going to have to commit to each defense? How much am I going to have to commit to each attack? Because the Bandit being in use is really irritating for Novel Possum because it sneaks up and gets a lot of damage.
Absolutely. The P.E.K.K.A., though, can get the damage down, but not when the Knight's dropped on his head. Tight fight to start with. That big Tesla, as you can say, he can put so much down. Absolutely decimate that piggy in a moment. There we go. But unfortunately, it is very slow moving and can be easily countered.
Yeah, you'll just see the amount. If you manage to get Sparky onto one of the towers, the amount that it can dish out is crazy. It's effectively a lightning spell. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at a zap spell. So we're going to see how much damage you can deal against a P.E.K.K.A., one of the big boys of this. Okay, you're looking at about 3 to 4 hits. But how many can it withstand? Probably one.
That's interesting. So this is a big attack on both sides. This almost may well be a crown on both sides. You can see that. P.E.K.K.A.'s certainly going to get, once he gets a hit down, that's going to be gone. That's going to be back and forward. Yeah, now it's a case of actually, are they going to rush? They're going to go for the castle. The Zappies will come down. There goes the fireball to stop the Zappies. The small P.E.K.K.A. versus big P.E.K.K.A. will go down. Very tight. And eventually they do finish it. It is pretty even, actually, between the two.
Rosanovel has a lot of damage dealt on that King turret with the help of the Goblin Giant just going up that right-hand side and just absolutely destroyed it. So, can he do it again? Once again, we got Sparky. We got the Goblin Giant going up this right-hand side. What's Shadow going to do to protect this time? It's the P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant versus P.E.K.K.A. Tank versus tank. Helping from the Zappies as well and from the Mother Witch on Shadow's side. Who's going to come out on top? It looks like the P.E.K.K.A.'s going to be able to defend it. However, how much elixir will Novel Possum have built up?
Yeah, I was going to say, if he doesn't do anything to stop that Zappy, it's just going to decimate the P.E.K.K.A. when it does. Now, of course, and he speeds it up. That's it. That's it. There's nothing he can do about that. Once that Zappy gets going, the Giant's in there, piggies are in there. Everything absolutely wrecked it. I did wonder when you could see it slowly building up, whether Shadow was going to do anything to maybe counter his attack. But because he didn't counter, he didn't attack with anything. So Rosanovel's like, I don't need to defend. I'm just going to go all in. Literally the full poker move. So went for it.
All out offensive, and it definitely worked out for him. So that's just Split 1 Grand Finals that happened about a week ago, just over. And we've also now got to show you Split 2 has begun. So the first week, the first tournament that took place. Let's have a quick look at the bracket that happened. So we're going to have to see if we can spot some familiar faces here. Definitely in the face of Lucas GSM, one of our favorite Portuguese players who was competing during the Spring Open and was definitely one of, the top of the ladder. He was always about top 4 pretty much throughout the entire season. Chief Keith as well going up against Rosanovel and took him out early days, D-Man.
Yeah, the winner, the champion, is taken down in round 1. That's a bit of a downer, that one. I'm not going to lie. But as you can see, Sosa, the eventual winner, up against Matteo. So let's have a look at some of the games that led up to this.
Yeah, for some of you that may not be aware, Matthew, his in-game name is slightly different to obviously Matthew, and Sosa is Toad. So just so that you know, just so that there's no confusion and you think that there are different players competing. So let's hop into this match. This is a semi-final match, is our first one, and it is Lucas GSM going up against Toad. So we've got our ESL mobile veteran, let's call him Lucas GSM. Not to make you sound old, mate, but here we go. Let's go, D-Man.
I mean, the Portuguese player, he made an appearance in the ladder in the spring. So that's why we get to know the names. Obviously, we can get to learn them from there. The little fire spirit sent in, bless, just to make sure he's not maxing out on his elixir. But yeah, both using bandits, I believe, here as well. I do see. Oh, that's the new one, isn't it? The new unit in there, the Royal Ghost. Also going to be used. Haven't seen too much of that, to be honest, across the year that we've covered. So great to see something new.
An interesting pick. I mean, it costs 9 elixir. You can see why people don't really use it too much, because for 9 elixir, you're getting a golem, or you're getting a P.E.K.K.A, or, something really tanky. But the good thing about the Royal Ghost is invisible until it starts attacking, and he deals out a lot of damage. So quite an interesting pick from Toad. Maybe just using it to try and, throw Lucas off guard and try and just bring something new to the table, be a bit creative, and why not? Because as we all know from seeing it, Sosa ends up winning, but no spoilers here. D-Man, we keep spoiling things. I feel like we should stop.
Right? I know. We need to switch in, put the bracket at the end, keep the surprise, keep everyone guessing at the moment. But yeah, the good old Bomber, that was like the first unit, I think, in the game, and it's still relevant in a lot of decks. It's great to see. As I say, both using bandits. And we talked about this, obviously, already, the fact that there's a lot of people using the Goblin Drill nowadays. It seems to have become more of a favorite over the Miner that everybody was using in the previous month. But there is the Ghost. Ghost is going to get some damage down. The thing with the Ghost is it will get a lot of damage down because, A, it walks straight up, won't get shot by the turrets. And then unless you're actually stopping it, it will do a heck of a lot of damage. But the Inferno Drake does burn if it keeps on there.
Ooh, D-Man, I have to say that I need to eat my words from what I just said, because the Royal Ghost costs 3 elixir. It doesn't cost 9.
Yes. I didn't want to call you out, but
what am I talking about? Let's just let's glide over that like that never happened. But yes, like you've mentioned, both using the bandits, both using the Goblet Drill. We've got the Dark Knight up top as well from Lucas. Hasn't used a huge amount of that, but I mean, this poison spell that Toad keeps dropping, you might see it used a fair amount. It really is so fantastic the way that he's using it and consistently getting it in and dropping it at the right time. So he's catching the decks, the cards, in fact, that are going to be coming through the poison as well. Really, really interesting use of it. We've got the Goblin Drill coming up on the left-hand side as well, with the Goblins jumping up but getting decimated by the Dark Knight.
Absolutely. That's very interesting. Obviously, with that poison field, he can always use it at some point on that left turret. We're down to 400, but at the moment, we're going to be going into overtime. And it looks like it's going to close. Oh, the Goblin Drill down the bottom there. It's got so close. Now, both with the Goblin Drill, I was going to say, when something's down at 400, the Goblin going to get a swing. No, the Dark Knight will take them out. But now look on the right-hand side. He's focused so much on the left. The right is being taken really low. The Bomber's going to come in, but it's not quite enough.
Oh, the poison on the right-hand side, chipping damage away. And now you've got a 400 and a 330. I mean, that's the good thing that Sosa has been doing for this entire map. He's been going on the left, going on the right. He hasn't been focusing one side for the entirety of this matchup. But Lucas is coming in hot on this right side tower, getting it down to 872. Bomber going on the left-hand side as a distraction. And then you've got the Inferno Dragon coming down. I'm going to see what happens with the Inferno Dragon here versus the Royal Ghost. If he gets a swing in, there's one. Can he get a second? Oh, he can't. Drop a poison, and surely that is it, D-Man.
Absolutely. On the left-hand side, the poison will take the right-hand side. I think they would have both gone, maybe. I think the Knight would have possibly took out those Goblins, but very, very tight fight. But you can see exactly what Sosa was playing at.
GG to Sosa right there, because as we know, he's made it through all the way to the final of this tournament single elimination bracket as well. So we're going to be seeing what happened in the grand final of that tournament as well, where he went up against Matthew, aka Black is the Blind. In-game name, that's what we're looking for right here. So we've got Toad versus Black and the Blind. Here we go. Right, so this is something that's quite interesting as well. We don't have a huge amount going for Black is the Blind, aka Matthew, in terms of air troops. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, there you go. Baby Dragon coming in up top versus the Inferno Dragon. Which one's going to come out on top? Because defensive plays are going to be so crucial here, D-Man.
I mean, that's kind of been the Clash Royale, right, of old. Like, it's always been air superiority. Do you go, like, a stacked air attack? Do you go ground defense? You can see, obviously, using the Tornado to sort of pull the Dragon back effectively. But with the Electric Giant, obviously, he has the big Tesla on his back effectively. It's just going to zap the poor baby dragon down. I wish I could do that right now to the flies that have been flying around in Cologne, because there's lots of them. There's no doubt about it. They're driving me up the wall. But that aside, the Giant is making his way straight in there. Nice use of the Tornado to get him extra close, so he gets a good old thwack onto the tower. Counter Tornado used to pull him away.
Even a little bit of a GG from Matthew to Sosa to kind of congratulate him on a good attempt at an attack. 1,850 left on that left side tower and a little bit of damage taken off that right side tower. Toad, aka Sosa, seems to be splitting his damage again in this round. So how's Matthew going to go up against it? Obviously, Matthew has got all the way to the grand final. Maybe he's got a few more tricks up his sleeve. However, the electric giant, the E-giant, that use is really interesting to me because being able to counter against air troops and also being able to be a ground attacking, tank is extremely, extremely beneficial in this particular deck.
Absolutely. And you can see, we're halfway through the normal timer and next to nothing damage really done. 60-second left kicks in, times to Elixir. Now things are going to hot up. They've got a pretty stacked decks. Let's see who can make the most of it.
Okay, we've got the E-Giant going down the left-hand side with the Dark Prince in tow, so they're going to be able to push their way through that. But have they got anything against the Baby Dragon other than the E-Giant? Does that mean the E-Giant's just going to be taken down? If the Tesla doesn't take down the Baby Dragon quick enough, Dark Knight's going to come up behind, though, and get a shot off. There you go. That initial shot is always got huge the charge from the Dark Knight. It's that charge. It's so good.
That's a big thing to try and block, and unfortunately, generally you'll see people throw some sort of throwaway unit in front of it, but to get that knock, that's taking it down to 900. You can see he's managed to get the graveyard down, but that's really done nothing at the moment. And Matteo is just simply on the defensive, hasn't really shown much of an offensive hand so far, and this is looking like it's deadly for him. Surely that first one will go down. It will be. There's the crown just before the timer is up.
Matthew gracious in defeat by taking that loss on the left-hand side. What a great push from the Dark Knight, the Inferno Dragon, and he had a little goblin there in front for the tanking. Yeah, if you can call it tanking. But, top tier Clash Royale there. As we've seen previously mentioned, the format of the single elimination bracket of Clash Royale, I really do think is great. It's a great addition. It makes things a bit more exciting and the tension gets higher. So you can still sign up for the ESL Mobile Open! Sign up in the chat if you fancy yourself at Clash Royale. And if it's a game that you've played a long time ago and you want to pick it back up again with your friends and just get involved, because that's what we need. It's more people to just jump in and just enjoy it, because that's what we're here for. The great thing about signing up is you can just jump in a bracket. You're not going to be behind on any points or any ladder distribution. You're literally going to jump straight into a single elimination bracket, and who knows, you could go all the way. So we've got some huge action coming up from Brawl Stars after this very short break. Don't go anywhere.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
It's fast-paced and it is character-based. This next game, it exploded into the mobile esports scene, okay? And in just a few moments, you're going to see why. But first of all, I've got to ask you, D-Man, you were there for the Brawl Stars play-ins. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. We had some fantastic games yet again. Honestly, it's a game that has delivered time and time again. I've been very impressed with the competitive scene so far in Europe.
Well, if you've missed the first ladder and even the play-ins, we have a little reminder to show you because we've got a little VT of how things went. So I'd like to take this opportunity to go roll VT. If we have the time.
You've caught him off guard with that one.
I've gone well early.
They've left you hanging in the wind. Let's get into it, though. Let's talk about this. So, EXO free agents obviously coming into this one as big favourites. They were the number one ladder team in the spring. They got themselves a direct invite. But Mood Gaming came out of nowhere and absolutely stunned them. Stunned everybody, and they were the first team to go directly through. SK Gaming, this one, by the way, look at the timer. We're 30 seconds into the game, and that was it. That was done. Match over. Thank you very much. We go through 2-0. SK Gaming delivering the champions that they were, obviously, in the Spring Challenge as well. And then, of course, we look towards Na'Vi.
I mean, you hate to say it, don't you? But if you draw SK Gaming in your bracket, are you kind of like, oh, really? Like, is that just the kind of... They're just so dominant. And even seeing from the Spring Open finals as well, all the way through to now, they just absolutely destroy. Like, if you put them on the back foot as well, they come back even harder.
Absolutely. I mean, they were so strong. And it was unfortunate for Tribe that obviously they come up against them because Tribe obviously a strong team themselves. They, though, faced Na'Vi. This was down in the lower bracket. Na'Vi using Rubik as well in their game. Obviously, Drage available to play for Tribe in the ESL. Yes, I know there was a lot of talk about that last time out, but a really close game. This, by the way, look at this goal. Last second goes in. Unfortunately, they got absolutely smashed in overtime. So it was like such a hype moment, and it died instantly. Reply Totem, though, up against Tribe. Reply Totem clearly carrying on the... I don't want to say upset, because they really delivered. They really delivered in the ESL Mobile Challenge. And they ended up going through. So as you can see, here's the brackets. Mood taking down EXO, SK taking down Tribe. They both advanced into Challenge. They joined Clash, AC Milan Clash, so they're already there because they were top of the table. And our fourth team that went through was Reply Totem, taking down EXO free agents, Genius Gene, and Tribe Gaming. I tell you what, if a team deserves to be there, that is them, because Genius Gene challenging Na'Vi and CIS. EXO free agents, of course, they were third place in the challenge overall, and Reply Totem did finish fourth there. So a bit of revenge, and they find themselves there. Much deserved.
That is a horrendous lower bracket. That's absolutely horrendous.
It's grueling. It's how strong the European scene is. It is mega right now.
Almost as horrendous on how I got left hanging when I threw to the BT. But I do love a highlight reel, though. So if you have experienced you've experienced the playback, from the first ladder, it's obviously time to get stuck into the second. So let's throw up the leaderboard and let's just see how we're getting on with that second ladder that we're at right now. So this is the position that we're at. Week 1, Open Ladder 2, Blood Diamond sitting in third. FA Frutas are indeed the old Noble Elite. They are now free agents, D-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're looking for a team, and they're a decent team. They were in the challenge last time out, so expect to see them there once again. BK Rog stepping up. They did very well in the monthlies as well, which just happened yesterday, in fact. Wasn't it? Yes, it was Sunday. Yes, it was yesterday. I was trying to think, when did that play out? So if in case you're wondering, the actual Brawl Stars Challenger, their own monthly finals as well, championship, happened yesterday. Very close game. BK Rog did very well in that as well. And SK Gaming went on to win that. So it's great to see that they're winning, obviously, in the Brawl Stars Challenge and the championships. They're doing very well across. consequently, that's why you don't see so many big names in the ladder just yet, because they were all busy within that tournament themselves, that they will be hitting, I think, next week pretty hard into the ladder.
Yeah, I agree. You've got Simps and you've got Esports Empire there in 12th and 13th coming out of that ladder. But I agree with you. I think that you don't want to burn out. You maybe take a back seat for the first week, and then the second week, you actually go in and you just absolutely throw down. As you've seen, BK Rog Esports, they've put up a lot of matches already to secure their top spot. So people are going to be fighting to get to that top spot very shortly. So they should be expecting some big names coming for them fairly quick. So first up, we're going to have a match diving in to some larger names to kick off our second ladder with a rather close matchup between Team Big and Blood Diamond. We got a gem grab. Here we go, D-Man.
Yeah, Big were in the ESL Mobile Challenge in the spring. Blood Diamond were not, but Blood Diamond did make the play-ins recently. They unfortunately went out, losing both of their games, whereas Big obviously didn't actually make the play-ins. So big step up for them. They need to get themselves in there, which is probably why we're seeing them putting so much effort in here. Nadine, Equok, and Lars, some solid players for them, but obviously we saw Rafa, Javi and Blake C previously, and they did really well in the ladder last time to qualify for the play-ins, but a real pressure game here on the gem grab.
Yeah, Big being really aggressive off the rip here, managing to push on through to manage to take down all those gems. And here we go. Blood Diamond have just absolutely wiped the floor with them as they progressed into their side of the base, though. And now we're on an 18-2.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Obviously, Stu was allowed. Stu's been banned a lot. The Bell also now starting to get more prevalent in their Bell, because there's other bans that have been coming out. Both teams using the Rico as well, so not too surprised by that one. This more of a turnaround. So Stu predominantly has generally been the gem carrier, but both teams were using Bell as the gem carrier.
An extremely close map, this one was. Blood Diamond trying to get aggressive to push up to get that final gem and then track back. Big have managed to swipe it. Here we go. Oh, it's super tight, getting in the face, using the healing sands. Exactly, using those sandstorms to try and cover up the push, but 11-10, it's just so tight between these two teams, which is what you love to see.
And the thing is, so Blood Diamonds have to stay aggressive there. We were wondering why, obviously, they're sticking around mid. Now, obviously, it loses out. Blood Diamond's going to collect the gems. They had to stay aggressive because they were trying to equal it out. Obviously, if it had gone 11-11, the time would have stopped, which is why you saw Blood Diamonds trying to get in there, but also Big being aggressive. That's the beauty of Gem Grab when they're both sitting there. Obviously, with the spawn changes to the gems that came in, weeks ago now, months ago, in fact, before when we were doing the challenge, it spawns either side. It's made gem grab so much more tense.
It really has, and I think that it's amazing to see these two teams getting so close to each other, and ultimately what you see on paper is a 2-0. However, people aren't really taking into account how tight all these matches are, so the caliber of the Brawl Stars teams are just getting better and better, and this is what we absolutely love to see. We're going to see more teams come out of the woodwork and really challenge some of these top teams. I mean, we've got SK and AC Milan. They look like they're a little bit unreachable right now, but give it time and it's going to happen. So we're going to have time now to dive into our second match, which is FA Saladas de Frutas, which is fruit salad if you're from the UK, versus Blessers in
a bit more
Siege.
common, yeah. Fruit salad, man.
Yeah, fruit salad, bruv. Right, so Salada, which is Noble Elites, just to remind you.
Yeah, so John on the left-hand side there, obviously up against Danker and Noriko, so he's trying to do what he can to keep him down. Will manage to finish off, gets the rebound as well, takes down Samara as well, and look at that bot going to work. Ooh. 61% in the first siege. You love to see it. Actually, that was got to be the second siege, because we got last siege in 20 seconds. Never quite know when these clips are trying to catch me off guard, Barney.
Yeah, they definitely are trying to catch you off guard. But we've got some aggressive plays on the right-hand side from Melny, which is great. It's what you like to see, especially as Rico. You got that pace and you got that ricochet, especially if you're super accurate. So trying to get all of these bolts into that next siege bot. We've got a 61% deficit going in the favor of Noble Elite. Well, I keep trying to say Noble Elite. They're not this. They're fruit salad, mate, D-Man.
They're fruit salad, mate, innit? Yeah, the Barney there using the last core, just trying to stop the rot effectively, but never going to happen, you can see. So huge bot coming through in just a moment, but they are going to get the damage down. Doesn't matter, they managed to finish it off. They tied it out, and of course, look at that, 100 231, nothing he can do. Tries to get the super down just to put a bit of damage onto the Ike there, but it doesn't really matter. And it will be Noble Elite, or formerly Noble Elite, now aka Fruit Salad, taking the first game. Frank being used here. Double Franks. You love to see it. So getting the full melee action in there, as well as the Buzz and the Edgar as well. Edgar actually has been used more and more, I would say. The Buzz over on the right-hand side, so that's Lucas trying to use that. So it is a full brawler with the double Buzz, double Frank.
The heavy hitters have come to play. Here we go with the Frank and Buzz combo. Absolutely smashing apart his opponents, but still managing to get in. Some of these 8 bolts on the side of FA Frutas. And it's going to be a big bot coming on through with the next siege coming in 20 seconds, D-Man.
But look at that. You see Edgar? You see Andre's playing Edgar at the moment. He keeps throwing out his super, so he's doing the damage. You can see it's 85% there. So while the bolts were tied up there, now, of course, the bolts will 100% be going this way. Melny, by the way, putting some good damage down on the Frank Samara. This time around will get taken out. Bolts will be going. Level 12 siege bot coming out. That's a big boy.
Ooh, that definitely is a big boy, and managing to go up alongside as well to put in the additional damage. Buzz flying through from Melny.
That's got him.
What a takedown.
That's going to be it. That's got to be it. I think I may well be able to from the Melny there to on the Buzz to catch him out.
That was absolute decimation coming up to the end there. Getting hyper aggressive and in their face, managing to secure the win. Well done to Saladas de Frutas. I'm not going to say it again because I feel a bit guilty now. It's like, and I'm also not going to call them by their other name. Right, we're going to go into our last little match of this recap show, because we're going to have BK ROG, or Bunker ROG Esports, however you want to say it, versus FA Snigets. They're going to be playing a brawl ball, and here we go, kicking things off with some speedy plays from Nita, managing to sneak it into that top right. And oh no, it wasn't the Nita. Sorry, that was not the Nita. Thanks. Come on, mate.
It was Leon, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was
Leon,
indeed.
I think. Yeah. Leon, they got the kill. Nita's on the other side. But yeah, I mean, a quick early goal. You'd love to see it with a minute to go. This is a very tricky one. This is one of the stadiums that a lot of people have been sort of edging what's the best brawler to play. Which one do you go with? Do you go with, because there's a lot of grass, there's a lot of cover, do you go with the full bruiser comps, which have been sort of more favoured? Obviously, Primo did get a bit of a nerf recently, so he's not been quite so in the limelight. But yeah, the Leon going down there. But Bell, once again, being put to good use. And the spike, this is the reason he's playing spike, by the way, was to stop. You've got the big spikes to go down. It's great against a bruiser.
Yeah, Spike is just brilliant at slowing down the game as well, and just ensuring that no one gets too close, blocking pathways as well. And see, look, there you go, single-handedly managing to push the ball further and further down towards the enemy's goal. But we got Gene pushing up the middle by Darkhoon.
He tried to do the big pass to Bell there on Akil, and you can see he's up in the position. Ooh. So if he'd come out on top in that, but he doesn't, he loses out in the Bell v Bell brawl. There's the pass coming through, and that is going to be an open goal in the end. There sneaks it in, the little crack there with just 3 seconds to go. We go to overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Overtime, no cover,
so
nowhere to hide.
Yeah, I want to get straight to it because BK ROG have got a massive advantage when it goes to overtime. As soon as all of that field goes away, they have the ranged brawlers to put the punishment down, which is why they just pushed and decimated as soon as it all went.
It's unfortunate, but there you go. That is why you have to realise that brawler picks are just so essential. Thinking long-term as well, thinking of that. Obviously, you're not assuming that overtime's going to happen, but in the case that it does, it was already game over before it had even started. So, play to the whistle, as they say in football. You know what? Speaking of football, I feel like we are basically match of the day of mobile esports team.
I mean, I'd like to think I'm a bit of a Gary Lineker myself.
But you could be battling against some of the best in Brawl Stars, okay? All you've got to do is put ! sign up in the chat, follow the instructions. You could be going up against some of the most incredible teams that we've got in Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. You could be competing this season. There is still time. So, speaking of time, you have 2.5 minutes, because we're going to close out the show with our next title after this break. It's going to be Clash of Clans.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
The Clash of Clans play-ins were a spectacle, to say the least. We had arguably the closest war we've ever had on the ESL Mobile Open, where two teams went head-to-head, and it came all the way down to who got the fastest triple out of the two teams that managed to get to be the deciding factor. So if you have any doubts if the best are competing in our Europe, Middle East and North Africa region, then the proof is in the pudding, D-Man.
I love the way you reel off the MENA tag, by the way. That's some work been put into that one, I feel. He's been sat in the bathroom in front of the mirror. You're in Middle East, North Africa.
If you say MENA, I feel like people will be like, what are you talking about?
MENA? Yeah, no, it's one of those tags that's been progressing over the time, obviously, as we've got Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. It's quite an eclipse of areas, no doubt about it.
Definitely.
Pretty sizable area. But yeah, well, some of the best have been creeping through, and it's great to see some new teams as well on the fields.
Just to quickly catch up, a few of you that may be new to this as well, the play-ins were in fact won in the results was Badzinga, MCES, and Alternate Attacks all went through from the play-ins, okay? And we're going to take a really quick look at the standings for our leaderboard from this week, okay? So let's have a really quick look and see how we kicked off the second open ladder. Carnage Gaming, one of the regulars coming and gracing us in the top 8, along with Tribe Gaming, Skystars, and Penta. But D-Man, I'm not as familiar with Indie Fox or Team Lena.
No, myself either. Obviously, we do have a couple of names that are coming through there, and we should talk about the fact that this is only week one. I know, especially from previously working with Clash of Clans, that sometimes you do see a bit of a storm towards the end of the weeks as everybody suddenly scrambles for their elo. But yeah, there's a lot of big names down there still. Your Pentas, your Tribes, the orgs that have been back in this game for a very long time.
Yeah, and look at number 9, the Dark Unicorns are there. Hashtag
they're back.
Unicorns are real. Hashtag. Right.
What's that team at 10? Sorry.
Could you Torilla Tavatan.
Torilla Tavatan. Yeah.
Torilla Tavatan.
Big finished word actually. That one.
But some of the more like well-known, let's just say, or the people that typically grace our top 16, we've got Nolex, Activity, and Titan Global Gaming as well, gracing us with their presence. But yes, like you've already mentioned, D-Man, we are only in week 1, so there's plenty of Clash of Clans action that's going to be coming in the next few weeks. Hey, however, yeah, early days, and there's still some very big clans that are going to come in and knock a few of them for 6. So let's just stay and chill and just see some of the big matches that we saw from this week, which we're going to kick things off with Carnage Gaming, and they went up against Activity, were one of their opponents. And you know what? I'm not as familiar, D-Man, with this army composition, because right now we're looking at 9 Inferno Dragons and 4 Dragon Riders. Definitely an air-heavy attack. We are going all in with the air. However, 9 Inferno Dragons. The only thing that I've really seen similar to this is actually when a lot of people used to use, I think in Tunnel 13, we had a lot of E-Drag attacks being used, where it was like 9 E-Drags surrounding the base and just going absolute ham sandwiches, I would call it. But 3, 2, 1, here we go. Going to kick things off. I think he's probably going to use the heroes to just make his way into the base. He's going to dive his heroes to just ensure that he gets down some of the more important defensive structures before unleashing the Inferno Dragons, which he has on the left-hand side, along with his 10 loons. Here we go. Spam attack.
Yeah, he's hitting those buttons hard. It's just like, get everything out all at once. Now, the thing is, obviously, they are pretty slow moving, so I guess you got to get them out as early as possible, because you effectively up against the time, right? But he's so dangerous against some of the defenses there. Could get caught out by the mines.
Yeah, I mean, managed to get in there quite early on with the blimp, using the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome to make sure that the troops all made their way over there, and also so that the Inferno Dragons didn't get taken down by the air defenses. But the multi-target Inferno is going to be beaten down by the Inferno Dragons. But look, he's actually losing them fairly quickly. He's got 4 up at the bottom side. He's got 2 up with the Grand Warden as well. And he's also got a Dragon Rider. Still plenty of attacking. However, he really needs to start getting these heroes into the meat of the base.
Yeah, it's a total reverse of what I'm used to seeing as well. Obviously, normally you'd have the slow hero crawl of something like that, maybe the Queen Walker or a crawl or something like that. But instead, it's like all the balloons and the dragons out. And now here comes the heroes to finish the job.
Yeah, exactly. You typically go for a queen charge going into something like a Lalo, but when you have a dragon attack, the main element of your attack really it just is those dragons and how well you path them. So the dragons were in the inside of the base. He's using the heroes to keep the dragons on the inside of the base. The heroes were around the outside. As you can see, sweeping around now, the Grand Warden is still up. The Royal Champion still hasn't thrown the Seeking Shield, so that will be used to take up the remaining defensive structures. So that will nicely secure a triple for Diz of Carnage Gaming. Here we go. She's going to throw the shield. And 3, 2, 1, I would say. Do it for me. Thank you very much. There you go. Takes down those 4 remaining defensive structures. And now it's just clean up.
Yeah, and actually pretty impressive, because if you think, look, obviously the Queen's pretty much untouched. Obviously, yeah, it's got the Unicorn with her. Even the Royal Champion is pretty much untouched. So, very impressive attack, honestly.
Very impressive. Carnage Gaming never cease to amaze. They're absolutely consistent through and through, and they always manage to, cement themselves into that top 8. It's just that extra push that we're looking for from Carnage to really secure yourself, really get everyone talking about you as well, and jumping in the ESL Mobile Open is just the best way to do that, to really put in the groundwork against some of the best clans in the business, because Europe is such a strong region for Clash of Clans in particular. So our second match that we're going to be covering is Indie Fox, and they went up against Team Lena. So I think this is our 3rd position versus our 4th position, if I am right in saying. And we have Truls coming in from Indie Fox Esports with Inferno Dragons once again and Dragon Rider. So the only difference here, as you can see, he's taken 8 Inferno Dragons and 6 Loons as opposed to 10, and he's got that extra Dragon Rider. So relying a little bit heavier on that Dragon Rider, but like you've already mentioned, using the heroes off the rip, D-Man, like you said in the last game, and he's got the Party Queen involved, shooting those discs out of her, what do you call it, DJ decks attached to a crossbow. I mean, that's pretty inventive.
I mean, get it right in there. By the way, we've had a request from chat, Banks, especially for you, because I can't sing. Can you sing up, please?
Can I sing up?
Sing up, yes.
Oh, have we? Okay, did someone misspell sign?
I think they might have. The G does become forehand, but consequently, Banks, you're going to have to sing for us.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Well, we could do an exclamation mark sign up in the chat. There you go. That's all you're getting.
That's all we're getting. I'll take it.
Thank you very much. We've got the Grand Warden coming in from the left-hand side. Use the Eternal Tome ready. Royal Champion still has the Seeking Shield. There's a lot of base to get down. Still a fair amount of Inferno Dragons left. However, with a multi-up, with the Scatter up, the Scatter could be quite dangerous if it starts targeting the Inferno Dragons, because that splash damage can do a lot against some of these troops, I was going to say. Royal Champion still going strong. There we use the Seeking Shield to get down those outer defenses as she jumps over the outer wall to make sure that she gets towards them, because it's looking a little bit thin, but still we're looking okay. The Dragon Rider on the bottom side on the left is looking very weak. Will he be able to get it down? That is a negatory. So we've got the Queen, half health, and it looks like it's just cleanup time. Okay, yeah, we're looking pretty solid. This is looking to be a triple. Truls from Indie Fox Esports. I'm loving the creativity of adapting, using the different amount of Inferno Dragons, Dragon Riders, Loons, because ultimately air is dominant in this Town Hall for sure. Everyone knows it. Town Hall 14, it's all about air attacks, and so it's how you attempt it. I can't believe you got me to sing live on stream, D-Man.
I mean, not really sure it's quite singing, but we'll take it. It was more of just a line. But yeah, I was actually very surprised to see the Dragons buffed a couple of weeks ago as well. So it's, as you say, they are very strong right now, the air superiority.
It definitely is air superiority. So, third and final attack that we are going to be covering comes from Penta. And they went up against Evolute TFFC. And we got Louis coming in with a Lalo. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Coming with the traditional Lalo. See how you do with the heroes. Maybe we get a cheeky hero dive. The Blimp comes in first. Probably to take down the scatter shot, just because it is that irritating structure that has all that splash damage. Oh, we had a cheeky spring trap, which took a Yeti off the map, which is just not what you want, because the Yeti offers so much tanking. So now what we're going to need to do is use an archer up top, which you can see, which is going to draw the CC troops all the way to the top of the base. So then you can drop a poison, get rid of those CC troops, and then potentially use a hero to just make sure that that Lava Hound goes down, because that Lava Hound can be a little bit of a nuisance. We saw a Zapquake go on in the middle of the base as well to take down some more of the defensive structures, and OMG, I'm running out of air.
Yeah, well, the poor old queen's just sort of tied up in the top corner of the map. You're just about catching up there, and just everything in there. The lava hound obviously going down, and it will just take a while. It's like, bear with us. I'll be there in a moment. But this is all a great job, because obviously it does enough to run the clock down. That's all it's about. Try and slow Penta's attack down.
Exactly. We've got the Ice Golem coming in from the top side. We've got the Queen who's going to come in with a few supporting troops, you know, but they're not exactly the biggest, the minions, are they? So they're not going to do a huge amount. They're just going to offer a little bit of clear up, maybe create a little bit of pathing as well. Ice Golem pops, and we've got the King going in towards the Town Hall. Now, sacrificing the King over the Queen every time. So ensure to get the King in there, pop the King's ability with the Yak, and make sure this Town Hall goes down. The Town Hall will drop a poison, which will kill the King. However, if the Queen can remain on the outside of the poison, we're looking okay. I mean, once again, can't reinforce this enough. Sacrifice the King over the Queen. The Queen is your most important hero. She deals the most amount of damage. She's just super strong. So we've got the Grand Warden coming in from the 3 o'clock side of the base with all of these loons and make a nice sweeping L shape across this base.
Yeah, and that's it. You can see it's perfectly cleared out. Just funnel it down, straight down to the bottom left, and then up towards the top right. It's perfectly done. Really well executed. And as you're talking about, obviously, previously the loons are strong right now. Always have been, in fairness, but obviously...
Yeah, no, I'm not saying thanks for watching just yet, people. We are still... Loons left at the end. Great haste spell, by the way, to get the loons over to the scatter shot earlier. I have to make a quick mention of that because that was perfect, because the scatter definitely would have taken out all of these loons. Managing to take down the rest of the defensive buildings, and now it's just all about that cleanup. And look how many troops he's still got up. The Queen, who's still got the Grand Warden as well, all of those loons and all those minions on the cleanup on that right-hand side. Thanks very much. That is another triple from Penta, an extremely strong clan through and through. I've seen Penta since I've started working alongside Clash of Clans, and they've been super strong the entire time, and it's nice to see that consistency within the clan, because they clearly do put in the hours, put in the effort, and you know, hunker down and make sure that they make the top 8 of the ESL Mobile Open. So they're doing just that right now. D-Man, you know what I'm going to ask you. Moment of the day. Let's do it. Come on.
Ooh. I mean, it'd be cheating if I said Brawl Stars, because obviously I covered the play-in, so I won't say Brawl Stars, because obviously that'd be cheating. I want to go with the Clash Royale, actually. I want to go with Clash Royale, because I really liked that attack for the monthly final, obviously, where we thought he was basically done. We were surprised. It was the semi-final game, if I'm not mistaken.
Novel Possum, yeah.
Yeah, it was the semi-final game. We thought, we were even watching it in rehearsal, and we were like, how the heck? Wait, this is the guy that wins. How the hell is he's looking like he's going to lose, and then obviously built up really attack, because as a former Clash Royale player for a long time, it was always hard, you know. As soon as you get that one crown down, you're like, oh god, here we go. So, you know, those combat games are always very special.
I believe that my moment was probably Alliance from PUBG. That guy had one up, and he went all out against a team of 4 that was still alive.
He would have got him as well.
And
if it wasn't for that pesky man.
I couldn't believe it. The snake in the grass got him in the back. So incredible performance right there from Alliance, and I'm definitely sure we're going to see a lot more from them in the coming weeks in the ESL Mobile Open in full in the second ladder. So if you've enjoyed today's show, you can still sign up. Just put !sign up in the chat, not sing up, D-Man, but sign up in the chat. And there's still time. You can still get involved, and you can still... So make sure that you do that and show us your skills. And we didn't see any Asphalt 9 clips today, as you may have seen. So this weekend, we have the Mobile Open Finals of Asphalt 9. So make sure you tune in and keep your eyes peeled on the ESL Mobile Twitter page for any more details that are going to be coming up about that. D-Man, it's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside you once again on the ESL Mobile Open. Thanks so much for taking us through all the clips in such style. And thanks so much to the production team at ESL. You guys work so hard, and we are so impressed. And thank you also to you guys at home for supporting your favorite players and your favorite teams. It makes all the world of difference. So keep letting us know in chat who you're supporting and give them a shout out. My name is Banks. I'll see you next time.
level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready now to level up? It's time, get up.
Back again. Ball, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball. I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouth. The one they call. I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell. Know you're breaking calls with your credibility and all. For like I'm in. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Step it in, elevator. Listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah. That's all we know when we level up. Level
up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready now to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready now to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready now to level up? You know we fall and we get up.